everyone, welcome to Wicked West Books. My name is Meg West, and today I am doing the coffee book tag. I was not tagged to this video, but I absolutely love coffee, so I decided I was going to do the tag anyway. So the first coffee today is Black Coffee. Name a series that is hard to get into, but has some hardcore fans. And for this, I chose the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. I did manage to read the first book, and I will probably never pick it up again. The writing style was absolutely gorgeous, but the characters were so extremely two-dimensional to me that it is not a series that I am going to get into. Pretty much everyone else who has read the series absolutely loves it and adores it. It's just wasn't my cup of coffee. The next coffee is Peppermint Mocha, and it is a book or series that becomes more popular during the holiday season. And of course, the obvious answer for this one is Harry Potter, but I'm actually going to go ahead and go with Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. And it was very entertaining to see the way that these three stories kind of played together during this particular Christmas. The third coffee on this list is Hot Chocolate. What is your favorite children's book? And for this one, the hands down answer absolutely had to be Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer. This is just an absolutely amazing book, and it is an interesting take on having a main character be a teenage criminal mastermind who wants to swindle the fairies out of their money, and it's one that I just really enjoy reading. Number 4 is A Double Shot of Espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat the entire time you were reading it. For this one, I chose Therithmatist by Brandon Sanderson. I read this book last year, and it is hands down my favorite Brandon Sanderson book so far, and I am really ready for this book to get a sequel, and I can't wait for that to happen. Number 5 is Starbucks. Name a book that you see everywhere. And right now, because it came out this month, and in a few short days I will have my hands on it, is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the newest one in her Fae series, and I am really looking forward to reading it and rereading the first one because A Court of Thorns and Roses was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and that happens to be one of my favorite stories of all time. The next coffee is That Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a shout out to an indie author. And for this one, I chose Nikki Charles because the series that you get on Kindle are really good. They're kind of romance with werewolves, and they find their mates, and it's really cute stories. And instead of making you pay for the books, Nikki Charles just requests that you make a donation to a local animal shelter or something along those lines for what you think the book is worth. And so Nikki Charles gets the shout out for this coffee. Number 7 is Oops, I Accidentally Got Decaf, which would be absolutely terrible if that happened. I don't think I've ever drinking pure decaf, so we're going to avoid that for as long as humanly possible. But for this book, I chose Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. I was really disappointed in this book. It was the Booksplosion Book of the Month last month, and I was expecting a lot from Morgan Matson, and I was expecting a lot because the reviews were people who were absolutely bawling their eyes out into tissues and so upset over the ending of this book. And I really just found the whole thing to be very predictable. It was cute, but it was extremely predictable, and the issue that the main character was having with her friend and her ex-boyfriend was something that wasn't actually that big of a deal, completely blown out of proportion by the characters, and it was actually very underwhelming to me. And coffee number 8 is The Perfect Blend. Name a book or a series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately satisfying. For this, my answer might be a little bit obvious because I seem to only talk about this series every other video. I picked the ongoing series of the Mercy Thompson series by Patricia Briggs. This series follows the main character Mercy, who is a mechanic, and she can turn into a coyote. and she lives just across the street from the alpha of the local werewolf pack. Some of her clients that she has as a mechanic is the local vampire Seethe, and she works for one of the Fae who is able to handle iron. And these books are just really good and consistent with the characters. There are perfect highs to the series and there are perfect lows, and you have a multitude of characters who have all different kinds of personalities, and you get to see how well or not well they work together. And that's really it as far as this tag goes. I'm only going to tag Laura from Bookies and Cookies, and if you want to do this video too, then I fully invite you to do it. I would love to watch your video of it as well. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next week. Have a wicked day. If I can get them all in one hand. They're short books, but there's so many of them.